You didn't start the war. You didn't vote for it. You're not fighting in it. But right now, whether you know it or not, the Iran war is actively draining your bank account. And by the time most people realize how much they've lost, it'll be too late to do anything about it. I'm going to show you exactly how much this is going to cost you, and the 3 moves you need to make this week before it gets worse. Last week, $78 to fill up a tank that used to cost $52. That math led me down a rabbit hole, and what I found was worse than I expected. Here's what nobody's telling you in plain English. When the US and Israel launched operations against Iran in late February, it didn't just cause a political crisis, it triggered the largest oil supply disruption in modern history. The Strait of Hormuz, a narrow channel in the Persian Gulf, handles roughly 20% of the world's entire oil supply. Iran has effectively choked it. And when that strait gets disrupted, the pain doesn't stay in the Middle East. It comes straight to your gas station, your grocery store, your electric bill, your mortgage payment. In just 3 weeks, Brent crude went from around $70 a barrel to over $100. National average gas prices jumped 87 cents per gallon. In California, people are paying over $5 per gallon right now. But here's where it gets real. Gas is just the first domino. Let me break down the actual $4,800, because this isn't a guess. Gas, $1,200 a year extra. The average American drives about 15,000 miles per year at roughly 28 mpg. That's around 535 gallons. At an 87-cent increase per gallon, you're already down $465 just from what's happened in March alone. If prices hold through the year, and Goldman Sachs says they might, you're looking at over $1,200 extra just at the pump. Groceries and goods, $1,800 a year extra. Every product you buy was transported by a truck running on diesel. When oil prices spike, shipping costs spike, grocery prices spike. Oxford Economics is now projecting the slowest consumer spending growth since 2013. That's not a coincidence. That's higher prices eating your budget alive. Investment portfolio, $1,200 in paper losses. The Dow dropped over 400 points in a single day when the conflict escalated. The S&P dropped 0.7%. If you have $30,000 in a 401k or index funds, which is average for someone in their 30s, that's a hit you're already sitting on. Hidden costs, airline tickets, utility bills, the random price creep on everything from Amazon packages to takeout food. It's quiet, it's slow, but it adds up. Total? Somewhere between $4,200 and $5,400 for the average working American this year, if the war continues through Q2. And the OECD just confirmed this week, U.S. inflation is expected to push above 4% in 2026 because of this conflict. Here's what frustrates me most about this situation. A lot of people in the FIRE community, people chasing financial freedom, built their entire plan around one assumption, that inflation would stay manageable, around 2 to 3% per year, that your savings rate, your index fund returns, your timeline to freedom, all of it was calculated on a relatively calm economy. That assumption is now broken. At 4% inflation, your $50,000 emergency fund loses $2,000 in purchasing power per year just sitting there. Your target retirement number needs to go up. Your timeline just got extended. And the side income you were counting on, it might not cover what it used to. This isn't doom, but it is a wake-up call. Because the people who will come out of this ahead are not the ones who panicked. They're the ones who adjusted fast. Before I get to the 3 moves, I want to ask you something real. Has your budget already started feeling the pressure from rising prices this month? Drop a comment below. Just tell me, I feel it, or not yet. I read every single comment, and your answer is going to help me make the next video directly about your situation. Okay, here's what you actually do. Move number 1, reassess your FIRE number. If you were targeting 1 million to retire early based on 3% inflation and a 4% withdrawal rate, recalculate with 4.5% inflation. Your new number might be 1.15 million or 1.2 million. That sounds painful, but knowing the truth now is better than discovering the shortfall at 55. Move number 2. Cut discretionary, not investments. The worst thing you can do right now is stop investing because you're nervous. That's how people miss the recovery. Instead, cut the 1 or 2 discretionary expenses that have quietly inflated in the last 60 days. Subscriptions, food delivery, impulse purchases. Protect the investment contributions like they're non-negotiable, because they are. Move number 3. Add one energy-related hedge. This is not financial advice, but historically, energy sector funds like VDE or XLE tend to perform well during oil price spikes. This doesn't mean go all in, but even a 5 to 10% portfolio allocation towards energy during periods like this has historically cushioned the blow. Do your own research, talk to a financial advisor, but at least put it on your radar. The people who came out of the 2008 crash ahead weren't lucky. They were prepared. They had a plan when everyone else was panicking. That's exactly what separates the people who eventually reach financial independence and the people who stay on the money treadmill forever. Wars end, but financial habits, good or bad, they outlast every headline. The question isn't whether this war will hurt you. It already is. The question is, are you going to let it set you back, or are you going to use this moment to get ahead of the 95% of people who are just hoping things go back to normal? If this video helped you see your money differently, subscribe right now. Hit the bell, because I'm making a follow-up video specifically on how to recession-proof your FIRE plan in 2026, and you don't want to miss it. I'll see you in the next one.